I am documenting this on April 29th, 2024. We are in Taurus season, and I do believe the theme here has been about self-expression, looking at the tiniest details in this season, surrendering, and a whole lot of releasing and being more at ease, being more soft with yourself, being more soft with your body and how your body is, trying to how your spirit is trying to connect with you, and where it wants to be in your body, if that makes any sense at all. There's been a lot of things coming up for me. Oh, and another thing, self-expression is key in Taurus season, and I feel a whole lot of this right now, and it has been very heavy and feel very heavy for me. I've gone through, if you are new here, I've been talking a whole lot about trauma. I am and have been studying trauma. I have been studying the mind and how the mind works and how our mind works and how our body works in every way. And suppose this is why I'm picking up a lot of the details in Taurus season. You know, that the more that I give myself some time to be more soft and be more gentle with myself, it is taking me back to a time when I had experienced a whole lot of abuse, deja vu, literally right now. My body's like a time machine, like our body is a time machine. It can go backwards, it can go, like, if you were an ADHD child, 222 on the timestamp, if you were an ADHD child and you had a parent who just did not comprehend and was not willing to comprehend where your mind is at and where your mind has been and how you behave and how you speak, and sometimes not even speaking, you know what I'm saying? You grew up as an adult facing a lot of challenges alone, and probably it could be like super fucking hyper independent, like I'm probably speaking to a very hyper independent person here, okay? Whether you are a female or a male, it does not matter. Gender does not matter in my channel. This is all fluid, right? But as a woman, what I had experienced and the abuse that I experienced and where I'm coming back, where it's taking me back, there was a lot of envy, and jealousy, and misunderstandings, I believe I've been misunderstood my whole life. It's like this, okay? This is what I'm getting. We have been in a place, we live in a place, this is a world of I know who you are just by the way you look like on the outside type of place, type of world. I know who you are just by the way I look at you, just by the way you look like on the outside. That's the kind of world we live in. Collective. This place had us focus only and really only focusing on the physical part, on the physicality of things. This is in fact a very soulless place, you know what I mean? Like, this is a very soulless world until you find a place that is full of pure souls. I believe 444 on the timestamp, you're going to get to that point of being around the kingdom. All right, let's talk about the kingdom. Like, you're going to get to a point where you are going to find your people, your tribe, and it's going to lead you there. But the thing that we have to do is, what I'm getting here is that we have to keep expressing ourselves in our truest state for us to get there, for us to attract the right company and the right things. Right now, because we live in a world that only sees you for what you are on the outside, which is fucking bullshit to me, and there's so much wrong to that. I believe that is the main reason why I was so misunderstood my whole damn childhood and my whole damn adulthood. I'm a late bloomer. Let me tell you, I am a late bloomer. I am turning 33 this year, and I am still unlearning so much about my childhood and the abuse that I experienced in my childhood. Let me tell you a whole lot about this real quick. The abuse that I'm talking about is a constant pattern. You know, you are exactly what you are wired to be. You are exactly how you're wired to speak, to behave, you know, showing up in the world the way that exactly who you are and exactly how you're wired. And when you are surrounded by people who are insecure, Spirit, Spirit, save me. Thank you. When you are around a lot of people who are insecure, you will be misunderstood for how you are wired. Does that make sense? So if you grew up as an ADHD kid, if you grew up different, if you just knew from the jump that you were a different fucking person, and you somehow ended up surrounding yourself with people who is so motherfucking insecure, they don't even know who they are, but projecting all of their insecurities onto you. This is where my body is going back to. I experienced a lot of jealousy and envy and envy and envy and envy. That is so uncomfortable, so uncomfortable. You know, as an adult now, I find myself to be moving from place to place to place, trying to find my safe space. At first, it was going to be called safe place. Then I changed it to safe space. I'm finding myself to be going from place to place to place, trying to find my safe space. And to everybody who, if you're watching this and you are one also finding yourself to be going places to places, trying to find your safe space, because it's needed, because you're honoring your body, and as you should, dude, as you should. Please do. Like, honoring this body and honoring your mind and honoring what your body is telling you is the right way. That is honoring your dharma, if you will. You're honoring your dharma, you're honoring the right way of living, you are honoring the divine in you. And as I find myself to just, you know, I believe the Taurus season is also having us to be very still, like asking of us to like appreciate the stillness right now. And as we sink into our body and becoming more still, are we, paying attention to the little details in Taurus season? And then this is where it takes me back to the time when I experienced a lot of that abuse. Expressing this and sharing this helps me evolve. Thank you, Spirit. it helps me release, transmute, be in movement, change, because we all need change in our life. We may think that change is stupid for some of us. We may think that change is not necessary when it is most definitely necessary. How are we able to see the world in a different way, to see the people around us in a different way, but mostly how are we going to see the most beautiful things and the most simplest things and the most amazing things in life and in people? Remember, we are not just flesh. They may think and want us to think that we are just motherfucking flesh, but we are not just flesh. We are infinite, beyond this world. I've always thought that when I was in depression severely, that was the end of me. I tried to end me, I believe, a couple times. And that was the stupidest thing that I've ever done. And let me tell you why it's stupid. Because coming out of the depression and coming out of the pain that I was in, on the other side of that pain, is the most beautiful, beautiful world I see right now in front of me. When we change our programming, when we change our internal programming, what we see on the outside is exactly what we are on the inside. Hear me. Who you are on the inside is exactly what you're going to see on the outside. Suppose that while I may be having these uncomfortable feelings and going back to a time when I felt and experienced all of this envy and animosity and jealousy from people around me, might have been family, siblings, I cannot fake my humble just because your ass is insecure. Kendrick Lamar said that, right? In the song Pride, he says, I cannot, what did I just say? I cannot fake my humble just because your ass is insecure. Many times I've surrounded myself with people that I was so giving to, and that's what you get, Kimberly, for being so kind and having such a kind heart. That's what you get, Kimberly, for having such a soul that you have, you know. That's what you get for being so kind and not being so careful around people. I was around so many people who took from me and grabbed from me whenever they wanted. I let them. I kind of just let it happen, not knowing that it was actually happening. I was so unconscious of this. I was so unconscious of the fact that, you know, people would actually do something like that to somebody else. Like, I was just never that person to think that people would ever do evil things to somebody intentionally. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I never thought that people would actually do evil things to somebody intentionally, purposefully, just to make themselves feel good. Now, there is so much wrong to that I just said, and yet it is still happening to this day, collectively. I cannot tolerate hate, envy, jealousy. And this is the reason why I find myself to be going from places to places and trying to find my safe space so I can just have some peace. You know what I want? Not that. I want quiet, silence. I love silence. There's just something about being in silence, being at peace, you know? If you have been that child who grew up in a very chaotic household, you now as an adult are finding yourself to be more wanting to be more in a very quiet place, and always trying to find a very quiet place, and always trying to find a place where you can just sit and watch the sunset, sit and watch this, you know, the view wherever you are. There's this tree that I'm looking at right now, and there's something about trees that I'm so attracted to. I just love trees. Do you know, I was watching this documentary. Do you know that in the forest, right, the nutrients, like let's say there is a tree right next to a tree that's not like really thriving, do you know that the nutrients from the tree, okay, there is a tree that is thriving, the nutrients can be transported into that tree, and that tree will come to life. I hope I'm making sense, but that just amazed me. I was watching this documentary, but I digress. I always do that. Coming back to what I was saying about being more at peace, there is something to that. When you've been in a very chaotic household as a child, as an adult, you're always going to want to have peace, and you're always going to want to be in solitude, and you're always going to want to be around water, you know, being in the sun, writing, journaling, hydrating, and a whole lot of that. You're doing your body really good. Like, you're doing your body you're coming back to your senses, and you're coming back to yourself and your truest self, and not the self that everybody perceived you to be, but exactly who you are, the ADHD ass kid that you are, that your parents did not accept, or, you know, friends or family members did not accept about you. If you are an ADHD kid, and you know yourself to be an ADHD kid, and you have known yourself to be an ADHD kid, you are different. And there are consequences. You are, in fact, different, and you're supposed to be different. And you know why you're supposed to be different? First of all, you came out of your mom's womb that way. And you might have been also at one point really like hating yourself, you know, because not a lot of people accepted you for who you were. So you had to act a different way in front of everybody to have friends, to get attention, so that you feel like you belong, right? Suppose you're not supposed to belong. What if you weren't supposed to belong? That's the hardest part, is that you've gone through this lone wolf journey by yourself, in your own mind, in your own body, right? Healing, coming back to yourself, and knowing who you are, knowing who you truly are, and not the person that everybody said you are. You are, in fact, supposed to be different. And that is the part that we have to accept and embrace. If you keep going against yourself, you're not going to win at anything. If you keep going against yourself, if you keep going against your wiring, your brain, your heart, your body, if if you keep going against that, how much you are also missing out on something really great. But most importantly, the world is missing out on you, because the world needs you. You are in fact different. You came out of your mom's womb and you knew instantly who you were. I'm different from the rest, and I know I'm different from the rest. It's because you are, and it is to be embraced. It is to be loved by you and by God, Spirit, your angels. They may not understand you, and they may disagree with you and how you are and how you have become. And they may be jealous of you, and they may envy you, and all kinds of unwholesome shit that we don't want in this safe space, all right? But there may also be a reason why you are experiencing the envy, the jealousy, the hatred, the disagreement from people. You are being tested in this, and I know I am being tested in this as well. You are to embrace yourself. You are to be authentically, genuinely to be loved by you. If no one is going to do it for you, do it for you. And if you can't do it for you, do it for us. It is the only way to get out of this matrix. It is the only way to get out of this delusionment that they had put us in. I've always told myself that it's me against the world. I've always told myself that I am different, and I had a lot of trouble hating myself. I at one point hated myself. I hated myself so much that I wanted to end me. But that sounds ridiculous, right? Because why would you do that to yourself? When you get yourself out of that mindset, you start to understand why. And then you start to understand, wow, how stupid am I for even fucking thinking that about myself. And the reason behind that is because you didn't actually have anybody around you supporting you and being different. You didn't actually have anybody supporting you and being the person that you're actually wired to be. And so as an adult, you've come to know and only really understand hate more than love. You've come to know only really being in pain and being in abuse and being, always feeling like you're being envied, always feeling like, people are jealous of you. And it's so ridiculous to say that, but it's true. It's the truth. The thing is, the world does not want to hear the truth. The thing is, the world does not want to hear the exact truth. We are, in fact, scared of the truth. But why would you be scared of the truth if you know that is who you are? Why would we be scared of the truth? Why would anyone be scared of the truth? It's the truth. There must be something in you that's stopping you from not wanting to speak your truth or not wanting to accept your truth. There must be something inside of you that you are afraid of, that you have not released, you have not let go of. There must be something inside of you that you feel guilty about. There must be something inside of you that you don't accept about yourself, or you did something bad to somebody, you did something bad, something that you cannot accept the truth. I'm just tired of not speaking the truth. I'm just tired of the envy, the hate, the jealousy that you get from family and siblings, family members and siblings. These are people closest to you that you thought loved you, but they really don't give a fuck about you. Literally, they would choose for you to die than for you to live. That's how bad it is. That's how cruel this world is. But it is all in your mind. It's just a mindset. You know what I'm saying? Like, it all starts with our thinking, and how we are with our thinking is exactly how we are going to be around people, and is exactly how we're going to show up in the world, and how we're going to show up in front of everybody. And like I said, like, we cannot fake our humble just because everybody is so insecure. We cannot fake our humble just because somebody else is insecure. Somebody who's around you and who hangs out around you all the motherfucking time, come on. That's not a friend. That's not a friend. That's not a family. That's not family. Family, what is your definition of family? Family is supposed to be the one loving you, understanding you, caring for you, nurturing you, and loving you in every way. But not just that, but like, not just seeing you from a physical level, but actually seeing you from a motherfucking soul level. Regardless of how you're wired. Like, this world may make you think that, you know, you're not good enough, or this world is going to make you think that you're not capable enough. And they're going to make you think like that. They're going to make you think that for sure. But our goal is to embrace that authenticity. Our goal is to embrace our own authenticity, how we are wired to be. So if we have been masking and pretending to be somebody else, we're not, just to make people feel comfortable around us, you might want to question yourself and come back to introspection, because that's not what you want. That's not how you want to live your life for the rest of your motherfucking life. That's not how you want to live your life. You are going to start to feel like you can't breathe properly. You're going to start to feel like you are lost in this world, and you are in delusionment rather than you being in truth. You don't want that. Yes, it's easier to people please somebody else to make them feel comfortable around you, but what happens when you have to constantly do that? What happens to you? What happens to your body? What happens to your mind? Where do you end up? Not with you, and not with your truth. Let me tell you something. When we choose to love ourselves, and we choose to accept ourselves just the way that we are, exactly how we are wired to be, how much of you will see the world and the people around you in a different way. But the feeling that you get with that, let me tell you, when you come back to yourself, and you're back in yourself, like immersed in your body. That's the tree I was talking about. Immersed in your body, completely in acceptance with yourself, completely living out your truth and staying true to yourself. That's a good life. It may not look like a good life to them, but it is a damn good life in here. And then you attracting the right things in your life. We don't want to end up in a place with ourselves where we are always pretending and masking just for other people's comfort, just for this world's comfort. Fuck that. This world doesn't even give a fuck about us. That's the truth. It comes down to getting to the bottom of our trauma and then choosing to heal, and then coming back to yourself and coming back to feeling more at home and coming back to feeling like exactly who you are, exactly how you were wired to be. I'm sending you guys so much love. This helped me so much. This was amazing. I feel amazing in this very moment. I love you guys so much. I'm sending you guys so much love and support. Thank you guys for always supporting me and this channel. You guys have no idea the journey. I cannot fake my humble just because your ass is insecure. Believe that.